Hello everybody, it's Miss Kate. This is the first lesson in your new interchange book, page 3, exercise 3. So the title here is relative pronouns. Relative pronouns are a type of pronouns that are found in adjective clauses. So I need to tell you a little bit about adjective clauses before we can look at this page. So let me show you something. All right, so an adjective clause is a type of clause. So a clause, if you don't know, is a group of words that has a subject and a verb. So it's a clause that gives us information about nouns. That's what an adjective clause does. Now, typically, if we just use an adjective, not an adjective clause, we have something like this. I like serious guys. So usually we use an adjective and then a noun, okay? But if we want to, instead of using an adjective, if we want to use an adjective clause, they occur in a different pattern. So the most important thing to remember is that adjective clauses begin immediately after nouns. So we, instead of saying I like serious guys, we're going to say I like guys who are serious. So here is where your adjective clause begins, and that's your relative pronoun. So that's considered the subject of the clause, and this word are is the verb of the clause. Okay, so remember an adjective clause has a subject and a verb. So we are talking about guys, okay? We are describing guys who are serious. So remember, the adjective clause refers to the noun in front of it. Now this particular noun is a person, a guy is a person. So that means that our relative pronoun, when we are talking about people, can be either who or that. When the relative pronoun is the subject of the clause. There's another type, so just remember that. When the relative pronoun is the subject of the clause and the noun is a person, we use who or that, and they mean the same thing. So let's go back to the page in the book. All right, so here we have a couple of examples with adjective clauses, and this was similar to my sentence. I like guys, use who or that, not both, aren't too serious. I like guys who or that have a good sense of humor. All right, so now this is a different type of adjective clause. So again, we are looking at a sentence, I'd prefer someone. Now someone is a pronoun instead of a noun, so you can be modifying a noun or a pronoun with an adjective clause. Again, this is where we begin using our adjective clause because it's describing this pronoun. Because it's a person, we can use who or that. Now this time, the adjective clause, in the adjective clause, the relative pronoun is followed by another pronoun. So that means, whenever you see that, the relative pronoun is the object in the clause, meaning I have fun with someone. This is actually the object, okay? So I'm telling you this because when your relative pronoun is the object, you actually don't even need to include it at all. You can omit it. That's why it's in parentheses, to show you don't even need it. You could say, I'd prefer someone I have fun with, or I'd prefer someone I can talk to easily. So only when the relative pronoun is the object can you omit it. Okay, over here, the relative pronoun is the subject of the clause. We know that because immediately after is a verb. Okay, so do not omit. relative pronouns that are subjects in an adjective clause. Let's look at some examples. Okay, so in the book, exercise A, here it says match the information in columns A and B. Okay, so exercise A1 is already an example for you. I don't want to have a partner who or that, so the match is D. I have nothing in common with. Okay, now because it starts with an I, that means you can omit who or that if you want to. I'm just letting you know that wasn't part of the exercise. Okay. Number 2, I enjoy teachers, who or that. So, what kind of a teacher do you enjoy? Well, usually it would be A. I enjoy teachers who help me understand things easily, or you can use that, help me understand things easily. Okay. Number 3, I prefer a roommate who or that. Okay, let's look here. Roommate, roommate, roommate. What are some key words? These look like words that would describe a roommate. Is quiet, considerate, and neat. Now, I also want to notice that this verb is singular, and that's because the noun right before the relative pronoun is singular. So make sure that the verb in your adjective clause matches the noun that it is describing. Okay, so that answer is G. Number 4, I don't like to be with people. Now this noun is plural. Who or that. I don't like to be with people, so this is going to be negative probably. Well, it could be, well, we already used D, so it can't be D. So F is negative. I don't feel comfortable around. Okay? Again, this one starts with a pronoun, so that means in real life, we could omit who or that. Okay, number 5. I discuss my problems with friends. Okay, this is plural. Friends who or that. Okay, let's look and see what would be related to friends. Okay, it could be this one. C, have a good sense of humor. This verb is plural and friends are plural. So that would match, and the meaning, it makes sense, right? Okay, so that would go together. We could use C. How about, so it could be C. Another answer, because we're talking about problems, this one kind of maybe makes more sense because it talks about advice. Friends who or that can give me good advice. Okay, you have a modal here, and then a base verb, okay? I'd like to have a boss, who or that. Now a boss, okay, singular. So we could look for a singular verb, or we can look for a pronoun. What do we have left? I think the best answer is B here. A boss who I respect as a leader. That makes sense. And the last one, I like to meet people who or that. I think this is the one we talked about earlier. Again, people is plural, so this verb would match. This would be a good match, C. Okay, I hope that helps you learn a little bit about adjective clauses. Adjective clauses are something we go over and over and over again, so if you didn't get it this time, you will see it again. Okay, have a great day, and I'll see you next time.